Yeah, what's happening? I just thought we'd go over a few new leaks regarding Call of Duty, regarding like Black Ops 6 and potentially seeing a remake to the original Modern Warfare 2 and 3. So yeah, by the looks of it, Treyarch's being given the responsibilities of making the next CoD. As usually, as you probably know, these sort of alternate every year between Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward and Treyarch, or what's left of Infinity Ward. So yeah, this next game's going to be titled Black Ops 7. And it's going to be a lot more closer to like a DLC than a full-on game, but obviously are going to charge you the full game price. But yeah, it'll be a lot like the newer Modern Warfare 2 to the newer Modern Warfare 3. Or even like the old MW2 compared to the old MW3. You're not going to see much variation here, and a lot of the stuff's probably going to carry over. So yeah, as for the storyline, it seems to be set in 2035, and somewhat of a sequel to the Black Ops 2 storyline, while taking some characters from obviously Black Ops 6, but the protagonist is set to be David Mason from Black Ops 2. The story's focused around espionage and informational warfare, seems quite topical. Multiplayer retains the meat shield mechanics, i.e. human shields can have grenades stuck to them and can be thrown back at enemies. Omni movement retains, but they'll be adding wall jumps for tactical advantages. So by the looks of it, I'd guess this would feel something somewhere between this Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 3, but obviously without the jetpacks. So if you remember on like zombies and stuff when you could run around but jump on the wall, I guess it's just going to be a bit like that but with the Omni movement. So yeah, as for the zombies, it's going to be a focus on round-based zombies, which I think that they've obviously got a lot of backlash, and they know that's the bread and the butter really for the zombies players. That's what they're after. It features one of the largest maps in the series, and it's somewhat of a remake of Transit, they're saying. And it introduces an 8-player co-op mode, possibly linked to a classic mode where players start with a pistol and have to craft armor and find the weapons, which, yeah, that was a main criticism for a lot of us during Black Ops 6, that you could just buy your buy your starter kits and all that. And it's not for say that I'm saying, like, if that's the direction they want to take zombies in, fine, but just include like a classic mode for people who want to just jump in and play around with the friends and aren't really bothered about the story, because I think that's a large majority of the player base. So yeah, modes like Outbreak and the MWZ are unlikely to return due to community feedback. So yeah, all in all, for what we're getting, it sounds alright, but then you remember all of how Black Ops 6 launched, and it's just not looking good, to be honest. If that's what they did in the longest dev cycle, which was quote-unquote 3 to 4 years, God knows what they'll get out in. How long have they even had, really? Yeah, about 9 months. For the campaign, it looks like they're adding the Warzone map that was supposed to be in this year's game, and that's going to be the sort of large open world, would you say, campaign that they're using. But yeah, that in itself just screams a laziness. Yeah, that map was meant to be for the Black Ops game this year, but then they took it out because they wanted to have the return of Verdansk. They wanted all the fans to come back, but yeah, it's just not looking good, to be honest. But yeah, as for the Modern Warfare remakes, it's probably going to be something that they'll keep in the back pocket for when shit hits the fan and then drop it on us. I'm not really saying anything about it. Let's just hope this time we can actually buy the games and they're not hidden behind the fucking special edition. But yeah, all in all, pretty weird news, to be honest. Pretty strange news. I don't understand why they're forcing Treyarch to make a game in such a short time, but at the end of the day, people say don't blame the devs, but like that didn't quite work at the Nuremberg trials, did it? Saying I'm just following orders. So yeah, nah, it's not a bad egg, it's a bad bunch. Activision is just all terrible, let's be honest. I don't want to separate. Oh no, Treyarch are sound. Like no, Treyarch are the people that just sold everyone a broken game. Treyarch are the people who've lost more CoD players in a couple of months than any of the teams before them. So this Treyarch being the magic dev, that everyone's favourite dev, and they're the guys who always crank out an alright COD. Nah, not having it no more, mate. They're just as bad as Infinity Ward. So yeah, it was MW2 and 3. It appeared on an Australian clarification board for their PEGI ratings or whatever. It did say that they were cross-platform as well between, I'm assuming that's PS4 and PS5. God knows if that's a remake, a re-release, or just a remaster. Nobody knows. But I hope, if anything, they've just left the matchmaking alone. They need to just keep it to where we just found people based on location only, because that skill-based matchmaking on them older games isn't going to be fun, especially Modern Warfare 2. I really don't know how they're going to handle that. Are they going to add the forgotten patch that was supposed to get put in the game. That to me seems like pretty much like necessary. One idea of fixing everything, just turn the grenade launcher damage to like nothing, and that's most of the problems, isn't it? But one man army is a thing in itself, and then you obviously have the danger close with the knife, where you could knife people from fucking 20 feet across the map. Yeah, there's a myriad of things wrong with that game, and it was basically unplayable from like a month or two after it came out, because the amount of like hackers just boosting everything. The game had everything. Yeah, fuck knows how that's going to be handled in modern days, because if you thought the noob tubes were bad back then, imagine what they're like now, where you go into a game and everyone has the fucking same ACR. I wonder how that's going to work in Modern Warfare 2, but I think Modern Warfare 3, that's a lot easier of a remaster. There's not much wrong with that game. It's pretty much Modern Warfare 2 but patched. There's very little in that game that's overpowered. It's just the ACR and the MP7 that everyone seems to love using. But curious to see how this goes. Curious to see how they monetize it, because God knows they're never gonna put out that game without a secondary monetization form, whether it be DLC packs, because both of them games had about 3 or 4 DLCs, didn't they? Or whether it'll be like customization packs, like God knows camos or something. I think of any of them, I don't think anyone would mind if it was just camos and stuff, as long as we got everything else for free. And I think people would expect the DLC to be free. I can't see them doing that thing again that they did with Remastered CoD 4, where they tried to charge for the map pack. I just don't think that'd fly in today's climate, especially when they've thrown in the supplied ups with it. I don't think that'll work nowadays. I think people would expect the DLC. But yeah, let us know what you think anyway. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Black Ops 7 probably miss, but yeah, let's see if we get these Modern Warfares out. Part of me doesn't think it could be a re-release, just because them games are so modded to fuck, to where even if they'd brought out a patch or whatever, there's people that are going to be able to hack it by tomorrow. So I do think they'll have to find some new way of anti-cheating the game, because them old games just weren't were basically impossible to keep on top of, with just the way the systems were set up at the time. But yeah, I'm guessing probably some sort of a remaster in the same vein that we got with Modern Warfare. I'm hoping to God that it's not in the Modern Warfare 2019 engine, because if it is, I think that'll just be where I have to close the door and call it a day. I don't think that's something that I could stomach, to be honest. But yeah, let us know what you think. See you later.
Fighting. Deployment. Shooting on the way. Our spy plane's in the air. Enemy spy plane above.